Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris, man. And as always, I thank you for coming to my channel. Today I got a special sale for you guys. It is the E6400 sampler sound module. This thing is awesome. For those who don't know this, you young guys, you swear by Kai sampling. And the Kai is bad. I can't take nothing away from them. But you know who's on top of that heap? EMU. You don't believe me? Check out the Emax. It's probably one of the greatest samplers of all time, And I have one for sale, and this is a great price. And I'm going to leave all this information down here. If you don't believe me, well, you think I'm exaggerating or lying. They go for anywhere, because they're a classic sampler. They go from anywhere from $700 to $900. If you don't believe me, I'll leave two links down here. As I speak on eBay, somebody won $900 for theirs. Another guy wants $778, which is like $800. And there are quite a few of these. These are not just a few exceptions. There's somebody being super greedy and they think they're going to get this kind of money. They command this kind of money because they're classic samplers. The stuff that they make now is garbage, And as I show you this, because I'm going to show it to you in a minute, turn it on for you, you will understand why I call it garbage. I'll give you an example now. Any drum machine now that you get, well, this a controller where you pulling your sounds off of a computer, or if you, now I'm about to lose my train of thought because I'm still tired, or if you, now I'm about to mess this up. Yeah, if you pull your sounds off there, or just a standalone, as they call them now, it's like they were this before they were that. Standalone samplers, or should I say drum machines, you will notice on the back of the machine, it only has stereos. That's it. That's okay for your cousin's basement studio. But the big guys, the people like the late Michael Jackson, Prince, you name it. When you go in the studio with those guys and the equipment that they use to put together their albums, all of their sound equipment has multiple outs. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. And you ask yourself, why do you need those? This is why you need those. When you go into a professional recording studio, you want everything, if it's possible, separated. You just don't put your drums on a stereo set, put it in the mix, and you call it a day. No, you want to separate your snare, your kick, your hi-hat, your percussions. And again, somebody asks why? Because each of them have a different frequency. And when you EQ them individually, you can get a true good frequency for that snare. And if you, separate, got everything separate, same thing with the kick and all that. If they all coming in on just stereo, because stereo only comes in when you about to master your product. But when you're recording your product, you want separation as much as possible, because you might want to put, or you will put something on your snare, a little reverb or a little delay or echo or whatever. You don't put nothing on your kick but compression. But if you only got them coming in stereo and they're all together, when you put reverb on the snare, you put reverb on everything. You got the kick with reverb on it. That's not how professionals record. So you want separation as much as possible. The new stuff, don't do it. Why? Because they're catering to people with studio basements, not professional recording artists, not professional mixers, not professional engineers. All the old stuff, get it, because that's all they did. There was no basement studios in 1979, Now, with the exception of a rich dude who brought all that professional equipment into his house, and that's, you can count on one hand how many guys were able to do that financially. But the new stuff is garbage. And that's one of the reasons why the new stuff is garbage. As far as, well, let me not get into that, because I do a whole nother video on that, because this is about this. So again, this is a heck of a deal. The average rate for this unit is about $800. I'm giving it to you guys for $299 plus $45 shipping and handling, because this is a little bit heavy. Let me stick it up to the camera, and then I'll talk a little bit more on it briefly. This thing is heavy. gonna try to bend this down a little bit. Like I said, that thing's heavy. And usually the good classic stuff is heavy. It's not plastic junk. It's in a metal casing. When I first tried to turn it on, it looked like it didn't want to come on. It's not that it didn't want to come on, not working properly. I just didn't push the button hard enough. So I just want to make that clear. But everybody that's taking their studio system set up seriously, you have to have a sampler. There's no way around having a sampler in your setup. I have 3. I have the Sonic EPS that I just love. I got the ASR 10, and I think I got another one back there somewhere. And I couldn't do what I do without a sampler, because there's some things that you want to do that, just a regular read-only memory sound modules, don't have, So, because I give you a good example of that. It was a song that I wrote called, and I got it on my YouTube channel. I'll probably leave a link down here. It's called Just Can't Seem to Get Myself Together. I've done like 3 versions of that song. I had an artist sing it the way that we wrote it straight. Then I did another version, and then I did my version, and I sang on it, which I'm not a singer, but I was feeling this certain mood to take that song in that direction. And some of the percussions on there, it's just me saying, making ooh or something like that, sounds like that. I put them in the sampler, and then I, trigger them onto my sequencer. But this is a heck of a deal. Like I said, EMU make probably the best samplers on the planet. Akai is up there, and Akai has always been up there, and Akai got put on the mount with the MPCs, but the MPCs that they making now versus the old ones, they're garbage. And you ask yourself, well, why are the older gear cost so much? Because they're good stuff, and the new stuff they're kind of giving away, because I'm like, why is the Akai MP1 is only $600? And I'm like, when the MP60 and 2 were like $3,000 when they were brand new. So you do the math. It's like they're not gonna give you something better for half of the price. There's a reason why it's priced that way. You get what you pay for. Now I'm not knocking it, because I'm like, I guess for $600 it ain't bad. But if you want again go back, a throwback to the MPC 60 and 61 or 2, because I've had 3 of those things, and they were heavy. I just couldn't really get into that whole sequencing thing because the screen was so damn low. I'm like, man, and my EPS, the sequencing is big screen, user friendly. You can get whatever I want out of it. So I was like, you know what? This costs too much for me just to be sitting on it and not doing nothing with it. So I've sold all 3 of them, but this is a great deal, and you want to grab this. Trust me, you want to grab this. Again, if you got a studio system and you're trying to get serious about it, you can't get around not having a sampler, And I thought I mentioned this, because again, this is an older sampler, so you're going to need these. Or you can hook up a zip drive to it. I think they might even have the sound card kits for this, but you ain't got to go through all that. Just get you a zip drive for about $30. If for some reason you don't want to use the floppy, or the stuff you're trying to sample requires more sound or more memory. But I mean, normally I use mine for vocal hits, definitely for my drums, sample little passages out of, stuff. But I'm not going to be sitting here with trying to do a 4-minute sample. It's like, no, so it is set up the way it should be set up, as far as not needing all this memory, because you're only getting snippets of stuff. Like I said, your percussion, some vocal hits, one shot hits, you know. And you can do piano. I mean, I'll leave a link down here for you to hear this guy. He created some of his own sounds, and then also he sampled from some of these legendary samplers or modules, the Fairlight, the Korg M1, some other stuff, and it sounds great. Because that's the thing about the older samplers, they got stronger filters, and whatever you put in, it's even stronger when it comes out. And I didn't believe that until I got me a Kai MP1 or two. I'm like, whoa, because the Alesis snare that I sampled off the Alesis drum kit or drum machine, when I sampled it into the Kai, it came back stronger. It sounded like kind of a different snare, you know, with a lot of more punch. And it's the same thing with the EM, you know, a lot of more punch. So again, $299 plus $40 shipping and handling. My PayPal information is right down there. Morrisman64 at Hotmail. Once you leave me a message down here, say, Morrisman, I definitely got to have that space for $299. And I'm sitting here looking on eBay and they want $7 or $9. So yeah, I want this. So once we confirm that, then you send your money, and then I will put Soul across this video and then disable the comments because it's like it's gone now. And then I'll send it out the very next business day with United States Postal Tracking and the signature required. So when it gets to your door, somebody has to sign for it. This is in really great condition, you know, to be, what, 20 years old? Well, I'm sure it's probably older than that. But as you see, it works. So till next time, take care and thanks for watching.